Welcome to my YouTube channel, How Fast You Go. Today, we are getting our first fat bike ride of the 2025-2026 season. Got about 8 inches of snow on Thanksgiving Eve. About another 3 or 4 inches last night. Trails were groomed yesterday. Have not been groomed yet today, but the Hartley Trail stewards are phenomenal, and I'm sure they'll get her done. Not leaving ruts, but I think I'm going to let a little more air out. Let me roll a little better. But looks good. So far, so good. Sweet. All right. This one looks like just walkers and snowshoers have been on here. I don't see any bike tracks. Did let some air out. A groom on the trail would probably do wonders. But we'll get a little spin in anyway. Get a little bit of exercise. Burn off some apple and cherry pie. There you go. Beautiful day. Yeah, see if we can get a few miles in here. Just to have some fun. This is Hartley Park. So this is where I took Tommy. Shout out to Tommy from Texas. Took some of his family out fat biking here when they were up in Minnesota. His first time out on snow. Hasn't been back, so I think I scared him off. No, just kidding. But these are fun trails just to get a ride in. It's fairly close to my house, so it is one of my trails of choice to get some miles in when I need to get on the trail fairly quickly and get back off fairly quickly. Looks like fat biking season is here to stay now. I looked at the weather report and I didn't see any above freezing temperatures in the foreseeable future, so my guess is we're now on fat bikes till spring. I will be heading out of town next month down to Bentonville, so at least get a little riding in down there on the mountain bikes. E-bike, mountain bike, I'm not sure what yet. Probably both. It's running about 19 degrees today, so it was a little chillier this morning, but might even actually hit 20. Trying to go a little slower on these corners so I don't hit the deck. There are some pretty good rocks underneath the snow on this trail. And I don't know how well packed the snow is around them. I can see a few poking through, and I don't really want to hit my shoulder on one. Would not be nice. Heading across the meadows. This is actually old bottomland, which was used for farming, but way back in the day. And they've put a boardwalk across it. As you'll see, riding the Reeb Donkadonk fat bike. So Reeb is a neat little company out of Colorado. I have a Reeb Squeeb Enduro bike as well. And I think they do limited runs of the fat bike. Their famous bike now is the Stiesel, steel framed, full suspension bike. But I have a Reeb Squeeb Enduro bike, which is a lot of fun. I use that mainly for bike parks. And it does that fine for me. And we're on the boardwalk now, as you can see by the trail that I'm riding over. And the outlines. A little bit of snow coming down. Makes for a nice day though. This is a fun ride at night too, so we do some night riding out here. A whole different perspective at night. Can't see some of the stuff in the trail, and the bumps and divots make it more exciting. I run outbound lighting. The one on the helmet, one on the bars. It's always nice to have backup lights. So if one fails or runs out of battery, you got another light to get you out of the woods. And haven't ever had a problem with the outbound lighting. I used to run some of the other brands and could run them out. Light motion work good for shorter rides or commuting rides where you don't need as much light. But the outbound lighting sure does kick butt. It is not cheap, but it definitely is nice. I'm sure there are a lot of other brands that work just as well, maybe. But that's what I ended up on after reading a lot of reviews. Had those for a couple years now. Should probably do some night riding and record a video. All right, a little run down Root Canal. Root Canal is aptly named because of all the roots on it for sure. There are some rocky sections as well that makes it interesting. So we are, of course, taking it slow. See some buried rocks there. It would definitely not feel nice if you fell on them. I have done that. But with titanium parts, we really don't want to do that. Next Saturday is Global Fat Bike Day, so I'm sure I'll be riding somewhere for that. Haven't quite decided where yet. See if any of the guys want to go up and ride it. But it should be snow covered anyways for it. Sometimes, some years it's pretty sparse, but it looks to be pretty good this year, if this is any indication. If you've seen my videos of the race across Duluth, I'll link it up on the right. That is riding the whole Duluth Traverse in one shot, which is about 45 miles across the city of Duluth. And that's fun when it's all groomed and rideable later on in the winter. But it makes for a long, strenuous ride on a fat bike too. Love it when we get a little bit of flurries going and riding in the cool, crisp air. Reeb is doing good. I haven't done much to it. Took the tires off and put some fresh sealant in there, which was well overdue because there were solid puddles in the bottom. They say you should change your sealant out every couple months, depending upon the brand. Could be more or less. I run the Orange Seal Sub-Zero in these tires, and it works really well for me. -20 Fahrenheit is my cutoff for riding. If it gets below that, I don't usually go. And even at -20 F, if there's a good wind chill, I'll probably pass. But today, sitting right around 19 degrees Fahrenheit, it's beautiful. Love the Reeb Donkadonk on this. The cake eaters are 27.5 by 4.0s on here. I do have a Manitou suspension fork on here. Don't really need it now, but during the shoulder season it's nice when you have a lot of exposed rock and chunk, but certainly not a requirement for a fat bike. I used to have a Lens Fadillac. That was a nice bike and I love that bike. Probably shouldn't have sold it, but just didn't need the full squish. Little slippery here. Again, needs to be packed in a little better probably. But you gotta go with what you got. Ugh. Go. A little uphill, a little downhill. Little increased heart rate. Yeah. Well, hey there, feller. Little deer in the trail. You doing a little fat biking too, are you? Yeah. Maybe not. All right. Out of the pines, on the way back to the parking lot. We should end up with a little over 5 miles for a inaugural fat bike ride to kick off the season. A little pre-gaming for Global Fat Bike Day. If you would, hit that like button, share button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications when I release new content. I do appreciate you riding along. Drop some comments below, what you want to see, maybe where you'd like me to go ride. I'm always looking for new places that I can squeeze into my schedule. And most importantly though, as always, get outside. Thanks for watching.